Sorry, yeah, you see, it's just lovely things to just get distracted with on a day like today. It also looks like a pretty fresh snakeskin. And this time in a buffalo thorn. Also, head to tail, probably very fresh. Just missed the reptile, perhaps, sadly. Marula is probably the only nut that we have that is not only palatable, but it's, or rather not only edible, it's just highly palatable. It's such a delicious nut. This is a Marula nut that I'm imagining grew into a tree rather than, or it germinated rather than was eaten into, because these, must find you now another Marula nut, if the squirrels have left me any. But these little eyes that you can see have a cap in them. It's almost like cork. Or it's a little woody cap that you can barely see when it's complete, when the actual nuts themselves are encased in these holes. Sometimes there's a third one. I've got one that's actually got 4 chambers, but it had 4 nuts. So this is actually the outer casing of the nut. Maybe call it, what do you call it? A stone? Shell? Well, I mean, peanuts have shells. Or other nuts. This is sort of hard and woody, so it's more like a stone. So would you call a peach pip a nut? Or you call it a pip or a stone? See, terminology, debatable how to call these things. That is a seed, see, now that is a seed. It's not really a nut. The seed is actually inside there. That's known as Diceracarium. DevilsThorn. I see some Impala. I saw their tails flashing. A couple of Impala rams. Not alarm tails, just casual flick of the tail to say everything's fine. Now that we're coming, not flicking his tail, so that means that he's looking at something, which is us. Morning, Mr. Impala. Getting very, very healthy. Strong. Robust. Probably bulking up with all the green that might come through in the next few days. Hello, boys. So how's the rut working out for you at the moment? Not all the rams can get a chance. Well, some of them eventually do, but not all of them at the same time can have a harem of females and carve out their little niche and be eligible for mating. But throughout the rut, they eventually do get their chance, because the ram that has the females has a job on his hands. No, his horns, really. He's got to keep his females in a very tight-knit group. As soon as one of them starts straying, he's likely to lose her to another ram. And it's moving off into thicker bush. And these two boys are still quite amicable. But he's also got to fight off other rams that are dying to get their share of the mating rights. And while now these rams are bulking up and they're getting really, really healthy, they're probably doing a little bit of sparring on the side to keep their tactics and their sparring ability up to scratch. And every now and then when they try their luck with the adult ram that has established a harem, he ends up chasing them off, and he uses up a lot of energy. In fact, most of his time is spent chasing females back into the herd, chasing big males and fighting with them, or chasing young rams who want to come back to mommy because it's the first time they've had to leave the natal group and they want to go back to the herd, and they don't quite get it that they're now got to be part of the bachelor herd and fit in with that hierarchy. So an impala will lose condition fairly quickly during the rutting season, and it doesn't take long for one of these boys who's now been feeding and fighting or sparring, building up his muscle and getting great condition. It doesn't take long for them to be ousted by one of these rams, who then take over and then of course go through the same process. They spend 2 weeks of running around, losing condition, and eventually losing battles. And so you get a cross-section of the impala rams able to mate with one group of females. My boys, don't fight too much. Of course, that's like talking to the trees. They will do what they will do.